How many of you have been exercising regularly and finding that you don't lose any weight when you want to do so? And how many of you are wondering whether you are doing the right exercise at all? This is Dr. Lenny DaCosta, a geriatric physician, a functional medicine expert, and the author of the upcoming book, Is Your Doctor Keeping You Sick? My dear friends, I want to share with you a story of a recent study that was published. And in this story, my dear friends, we have two groups of exercisers or two groups of people who exercise regularly. So they divided them into exact number of two groups of about 30 of them each. And in one group, they asked them to go and exercise on a cycle for 45 minutes at a good regular pace. So this was known as the endurance group. And another group of 30 exercisers, they asked them to get onto the cycle and do short bursts of 15 seconds of extremely fast cycling and slow down for 90 seconds. And they were supposed to do this for all of 10 minutes. So one group, 45 minutes of cycling at a very brisk pace. Another group, 10 minutes of interval bursts of very fast cycling and then complete slowdown. And the second group was known as the interval training group. So you had the endurance training group and you had the interval training group. After about 90 days, 3 months, they decided to see what was the outcome of this study. They found that the endurance group lost a whole lot of calories, much more than the interval training group. So they expected that they would also lose a lot of fat. They were in for a shock. When they looked at the body mass findings or measurements, they found that the interval training group lost 9 times more fat than the endurance training group. Why did this happen? My dear friends, when we sprint, and this is what they found, when we sprint, we use a very important sugar for fuel, and this sugar is called glycogen. This is the sugar that is stored in our muscles. And over the next 8 to 12 hours, if you have done this interval training for 10 minutes, in this case it was just 10 minutes, in the next 8 to 12 hours, the fat would burn to replenish that glycogen. And this was known as the afterburn. This afterburn was not seen in the endurance training group. In the endurance training group, they would burn a lot of fat, they would burn a lot of calories, but the next meal they ate, all this would get replenished. Why? Because fat was what the fuel that they were using. Fat was something that was always a reserve energy that was stored in the body. So the body would think that, hey, listen, my reserve energy is used up. I need to replenish it for the rainy day. Now there were more findings to this particular study. The first one was that everyone's cardiac output improved much more in the interval training group. The interval training group had quicker cardiac adjustments to changes in demand. So if there's a sudden demand for the cardiac output, that means more blood supply, more energy for your body, the interval training group had a better output from the heart. Then they achieved higher peak stroke volume during overload. That means whenever they were called to do any kind of quick exercise, the amount of blood supply given by the heart was much higher than what was available in the endurance group. Interval training exercise group had better anti-aging benefits. They had better testosterone levels. They had better memory as compared to the endurance training group. And it is known that this kind of exercise actually helps you to improve your memory and maintain your memory as you age. There was very less accumulation of fat and the libido improved drastically and the strength of the muscles improved. So if you saw the interval training group, they were more muscular and built than the endurance training group. So they had a better body structure, the muscles were better and more strength was seen in them. Also, they lost weight much faster. Like I said, 9 times more weight loss than or fat loss than the endurance training group. So they lose weight faster. So what does it mean? It means when you do interval training, your weight loss is much faster than endurance training. And I will explain the difference to you in a while. More importantly, many of those in the interval training group were pre-diabetic and had issues with insulin. Their insulin and cortisol balances came back to normal. That was a huge plus point for them. The endurance training did have it, but it was far better seen in an interval training group. And more importantly, blood pressure was seen to be better adjusted in the interval training group than in the endurance training group. Now, both these groups were not athletes. They were middle-aged men and women who did have not very serious issues, but were looking to lose weight and were looking to get better health benefits out of exercise. And so these were the benefits that were found. So what's the take-home message, my dear friends? The take-home message is whenever you want to exercise, you need to do the interval training, a short burst training, rather than a 1-hour walk or a 45 minutes jog. It's always better. Why do I say this? Because I have people who come to me and say, hey, listen, doc, I don't have the time to go to the gym. I don't have the time to do exercise. I don't have time because I'm so bogged down in the morning. I'll do some walking in the evening. You don't need time. You need 10 minutes. 10 minutes is the time that you would use to go to the toilet. So it's far less than what time you spend in the toilet having a bath and doing your daily routine in the morning. Just add this to that daily routine. 10 minutes, spot jogging, skipping, slow jogging and fast jogging at the same site, or cycling, all can add up to interval training. You can do this at home. You don't need to go to a gym. You can get up, just have a wash, have a glass of water and do this. What does it benefit you? How does it benefit you? It gets you leaner, it gets you more fitter, your body looks better, you have better control of your blood pressure. If you're pre-diabetic, you can reverse it. If you're diabetic, your sugars are better. You have better outcomes of your cortisol levels, so the stress levels go down because cortisol is controlled. You have a lot of endorphin release that help you live a happy, healthy life because endorphins keep you happy, keep you stress-free, and ensure that you are healthy at all times. 10 minutes of interval training a day will get you to be healthy, happy, and much stronger. The cherry on the top, specifically those of you who are in your 50s, going on to 60s, you will start becoming sharper. If you're losing that memory a little bit, forgetting where you've kept your keys, and you turn out and say, I just lost, I don't remember where I've kept it, I'm just getting this fogging of my memory, all that will disappear because you will have very sharp memory. This kind of exercise sharpens your brain. And as you grow older, that is what you need. So all of you, my dear friends, young and old, don't think about going to the gym if you don't have the time. Don't think that you need to do a 1-hour walk to remain fit. 10 minutes interval training at home, you can do it today. Start today because this is the day that you will start working on your health. You don't need to do too much. 10 minutes of interval training, that's all will get you to good health. That's what will take care of your blood pressure and your blood sugar in case you're diabetic. My dear friends, I hope you like this video. If you do, please share it with your friends because this will help them live a happy and healthy life. And if you like this kind of videos, go to my YouTube channel. I have tons and tons of videos there which will give you tons of tips to and tons of hacks as well to maintain good health. I hope to see you soon in another video. Till then, bye.